are going to learn how to design a boost converter in a Simulink platform. So before start of simulation, a small introduction about the boost converter. A boost converter is a type of DC to DC converter that increase the input voltage to higher output voltage. It is commonly used in application where the output voltage needs to higher than the input voltage, such as a battery powered application like a or LED drivers. So the operation of boost converter, it stores energy in the inductor while switch is on, and then releasing the energy to the output when the switch is off. So this process effectively boosts the input voltage higher the output voltage. So the main components of the boost converter, it includes the inductor, a diode, a switch, and also a capacitor. So the inductor stores the energy during the switching on time, and the capacitor smooths the output voltage when the switch is off. So the boost converter can be controlled in a different ways, so such as a PWM or voltage regulation feedback. Most of that we are using a PWM control to adjust the duty cycle of the switch to regulate the output voltage. In order to get the efficient voltage, most of the techniques are followed by implement a PAD based PWM techniques. So the efficiency of boost converter can be achieved especially when operated at a high frequencies. However, the efficiency can be influenced by factors such as the choices of components, so like as the operating conditions and also control strategies. So the boost converters are mainly used in various applications where stepping up voltage it's necessary, such as a battery powered devices, for example in the laptops, smartphones, or any LED drives, or automotive electronics and renewable energy system. So that's what most of PV systems are comes along with what boost converter. So the designing boost converter requires a careful consideration parameters like the input voltage range, the output voltage, and also the output current, switching frequencies. So before to place all the components in Simulink model, we must know what are the parameters of inductance, capacitance, as well as a switch pulse width based on the input as well as the output. So if you know very well in the coding, we can calculate all the values from the editor window. So it does not need a manual calculation. If you know inputs and outputs and also switching frequency, we can calculate all the values from the editor windows. So I have referred these formulas from the journals and also this based on this circuit diagram. So the output voltage V0 is equal to Vs divided by 1 minus D. So there are two details are known, that one is input voltage, Vs is nothing but input voltage, V0 is nothing but what, output voltage. So based on the Vs, V0, I have calculated the value of D. So that is meant by D is nothing but 1 minus Vin divided by Vout. So here we found the value of D, that is meant by duty cycle of MOSFET. Then second one is inductance. The inductance value is measured from D into V in divided by del IL into switching frequency. Here the unknown data are del IL. The del IL value is calculated from here V0 into I0 divided by V in into new EST. Here the V0 is value is known as value, and the unknown value is another one is what, I0. So we need to calculate the value of I0. So here I have measured I0 is nothing but what, P0 divided by Vout based on the output voltage. So then after that we find out the value of I0. So here three details are known, that V0, I0 and Vn, and another one value is new EST. The new EST value is calculated based on the two types of mode, either it is a continuous conduction mode or a discontinuous conduction mode. If we are choosing a continuous conduction mode, we need to choose the value of N is between 85% to 95%, that is by 85 to 95. If you are choosing discontinuation mode, we need to choose the N is between the 60 to 75 based on our requirement. So here I have chosen the based on 95%. So 1 divided by 95, it around 0.01. So therefore I reframe the model here. DI represent is nothing but del IL. So DI is nothing but what, del IL is equal to 0.01 into I0 into V0 divided by Vn. I have referred here. Then after del I value is calculated, we straight away move to where, to calculate the value of inductance. Inductance L. L is voltage is nothing but what, V in into D divided by del I into switching frequency Fs. Then third parameter is nothing but what? Capacitance. So we need to calculate the value of a capacitance. The capacitance formula I have referred here what? Del V naught divided by V naught is equal to D divided by R into C into switching frequency F. Here there are two details are unknown details. One is del V naught and another one is detail is what? Resistance. So here I have not mentioned any load resistance. So therefore we need to first calculate the value of resistance. R is nothing but what? V out divided by I naught, because it is a output voltage divided by output current. So therefore I replaced R is equal to V naught divided by I naught here. So therefore LHS said V naught and RHS said V naught will be cancelled. Then I naught comes to the numerator. So then after that I will calculate the value for C is equal to I naught into D divided by switching frequency and also del V naught. So del V naught I have chosen here V out into 0.01. It is also based on the output voltage divided by NS. So here this is the formula what we are going to run in the editor window. So place all the values in the editor window. So here the input address, input voltage 12 volt, 24, output power, switching frequency. Then after that, so run our model. If the program simulated, all the values stored in the workspace window. So we can see that the capacitance value is 0.0043 farad and the duty cycle is 0.5. Load current is 20.833. For the switching frequency 10,000 kilohertz. And the load resistance value 1.1520 ohm and the inductance value 0.0014 Henry. So these data are stored in the workspace window. So now we want to open the what? Simulink model here, model windows. Now already I placed all the comments, I pick and place all the comments from the Simulink library process. So now I am going to track all the components to the one by one. So this one is a controlled voltage source. Then this one is pulse width modulations, PWM generator. Then from the circuit diagram, so there are one inductance and one capacitance used. So this is the input voltage, then inductance, then another one switch. I am going to use a switch as a IGBT, then a capacitance, a diode is connected, and I need to measure the flow of current. I am going to use the inductance, that is a voltage current measurement block. Then last one, load resistance RL. So need to measure the voltage across the load resistance. So I need to connect the sensor, that is my voltage measurements. Okay, now we will connect one by one. So connect the input to the inductance. The inductance output is connected to the gate. Then diode, next one. So from the circuit diagram, diode, then after that diode output is given to the measurement. So it's come after the capacitance only. So connect capacitance, then diode is connected, then here connected, then connect the capacitance to the resistor side, then terminals. Now connect the pulse width modulation to the IGBT device. So we calculated the pulse width duty cycle is 0.5. So I am going to use a pulse width 0.5 is a constant. So I am going to take as a constant one, constant block. This one is a constant blocks. So replace to 0.5 value. So 0.5. So connected to the duty cycle of the pulse width modulations. So now we want to set the input voltage. This is a step input. I am going to step apply. The input voltage is we taken as a 12 volt. So I already taken the 12 volt. So all the details are stored in the workspace window. So I am going to enter only the names. What are the names I called in the editor windows? So you can see here I chosen the name as what? L, RL, FS, C and also D. So therefore I am going to call each element name as, this one is inductance, I choose it as a L. So I give to replace L. So then all the details are called from the workspace. So 0.0014 Henry. Similarly this one is capacitance C, already called V 0.004340. Then this one is the load resistance. We want to type RL. So 1.152 ohm, apply, okay. So now connect measurements block to the any display or scope. So I'm going to choose a scope. So connect voltage measurement, another one is a current measurement here. I connected the current measurements. So first one is voltage measurement, second one is what? Current measurements. So I'm going to replace there voltage, load voltage. So next one is load current. Okay, that's all. So now we are going to simulate the runs. So simulate the model. So I'm going to simulate at the time of up to 10 seconds. So now the model is running. So we given the input voltage is 12 volt, the output voltage is what? 24 volt. So it took sometimes because my system configuration model is very low. Okay, now the model is running. So we can see that the output current is nearly is equal to 20.3 amps, and also the output voltage is nearly what? 23.23. Boost converter. The input voltage is 12 volt. The output voltage is boosted by what? 24 volt. So look at here. The blue color indicates the load voltage, and the red color indicates what? Load current. Here the voltage is nearly equal to 23.03 ohms. So what we said, the output load is nearly equal to 24, but we are getting only what? Around 23.03, and also the current is nearly equal to 20.083. So nearly it is touching 20.03 amps. But we are not getting the efficient voltage up to what? 24 volt. So it is due to the problem of we are using a fixed pulse width modulations. Suppose if you are going to use a variable resistance, then automatically the voltage will be reduced or current will be increased. So based on that, automatically duty cycles will be varied. So for this one, we want to use a PID controller to tune automatically the pulse width modulations. So the PID controller is compares the input of the PID controller is compare the actual value with the reference value. The actual value is referred across the load resistance, and the reference values that we taken as the output voltage, it is equal to what? 24 volt. So from this comparisons, we give it to the what? PID controller. PID controller tuned the duty cycles and give it to the D2P, that is my PWM generator. So we will get a more efficient voltage across the 24 volt across the load. Okay. So now I'm going to replace this one. I connect a PID controller to the pulse width generator, then reference value is compared with the actual value. So therefore I need to take the constant block. What is the reference value? We choose input voltage is the output voltage is 24. So the output error output is given to the PID controller. So I'm going to replace 24. So I already tuned the PID controller to set all these values. So we will explain, I will explain in next class how to tune the PID controller based on the output load. Okay. So now I'm going to run the model. So now it's running. So we can see that the voltage is gradually increasing, reaches 24 volts. So we can see the scope. So you see here, the output voltage nearly reaches the 24 volt. So the system is created for a constant load with a constant input. Suppose if I am going to vary the input voltage from the time, so initial step time 1, the final value will be 24. Suppose I have changed, apply, okay. So the data will be varied after the time period of 1 second. So we can see that. So up to 1 seconds, the output voltage is nearly is equal to 24. When it is crosses the 1, the automatically we can see that there will be spike. Here, look at here, we are getting a spike. So due to that, the input voltage is varied to what? So 24 volt. So I actually gradually increased directly to 24, but we will give slightly lower than the output voltage. So because we choose output voltage is also 24. Okay, understand? So look at here, the output voltage is nearly maintained as a same 24 voltage. Is it clear? So if the input continuation is varies, automatically it rectifies the errors and maintains the same voltage. So it is also one kind of advantages by using a PID based PWM generator. So I hope you understand everything about the how to design a boost converter in a Simulink platform. To watch more videos on about the simulations. Thank you all.